Lucas and the Welland Vineyards.
Welcome back here to the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Michael Horn along with the one and only Mr. Robert Conrad.
So anyway, in life, there are actors and then there are actors. And I put this guy that we were thrilled to have, and I mean that sincerely, in a special category. He's an actor's actor. And when I saw a little brief introduction for the Pioneers in Television that you'll see on PBS hopefully in January, Martin Landau was a part of that doing a fight sequence with me, and I thought to myself, amazing. I never thought of Martin Landau and Robert Conrad doing a fight sequence. Anyway, after he attended the famed Actors Studio with Steve McQueen, he made his Broadway debut in the play Middle of the Night. Encouraged by his teacher and mentor Lee Strasberg, Landau also taught acting classes, and who knew that the two of his students, Jack Nicholson and Houston, would become two of the most talented actors in the business. And that's Ms. Houston. In '59, Landau's film career took off with a performance in Hitchcock's North by Northwest. Although he wasn't interested in TV, he took a special guest credit on a new show called, listen to this, folks, Mission Impossible. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
And as we all know, he went on to be one of the show's best-known stars in a role of master disguise. In 2009, Landau, that's just recently, folks, in 2009, Landau teamed up with a director and a playwright and spent decades working with and produced the Total Picture Seminar. It's a unique two-day event covering the disciplines of acting, directing, and writing for film that brings their expertise to a larger audience. And you go on and on and on. And I just love this guy personally and professionally. And thank you so much, Martin Landau, for doing our show.
Oh, Robert, it's a pleasure. Believe me. I mean, I'm so happy that you're doing this show and that you have the wide audience that you have. And I've heard that how many people really pay attention to your show is kind of mind-boggling. And I'm really impressed.
Hey, thanks. Hey, you know, and the nice thing about this is, Martin, they've become friends. It's a real kind of warm thing we got going here, and they call in and they're friends with each other, and three of them met from different states and came in to visit us. But anyway, enough about them and us. Well, what about you? We just a film that you've got coming out, Marty?
Yeah, I've got a film coming out tomorrow, actually.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, picture with Ellen Burstyn. That it's an older couple love story with a surprise ending and knock your socks off. Actually, it's kind of remarkable. The amazing thing about it is it was directed by, at the time, a 22-year-old kid who wrote the script. When I got the script, I read it and I said, you know, I'm very interested in doing this. How old is the guy who wrote it? You know, figuring 50, 60. I mean, who's going to write an older couple love story? They said 22. And, you know, my eyes uncrossed about half an hour later. And I said, I got to meet with the guy. And they said, well, he lives in Omaha, Nebraska. I said, well, that's his problem. So I said, you know, I really need to talk to him. The script is wonderful, but it's got some bumps in it that, you know, that need tending to. So he flew in, and we had a 5-hour lunch.
Wow.
And I told him what the first act needed, the second act needed, the third act needed. And, you know, there were scenes in there that were, you know, he's a young kid, but I said everything has to build tension to this moment and then the second act. And so I said, if you're willing to work with me, I'll do your movie, because I liked him. I mean, intrinsically got a gut response. And he said yes. And so out of what we talked about, he did a rewrite. And from that point on, for 2 months, we talked a couple of days a week, and we'd go over 5 and 6 pages at a clip. And he'd make changes and send it to me, and we'd talk about it and go on to the next bunch. When it was about 90% there, I said, oh, send it to Ellen Burstyn, who was our first choice. And about 4 days later, I got a call from Ellen, and she said, hi, Marty. And I sounded a little gloomy in the voice a bit. I said, hello, Ellen. She said, "What the hell are we going to do in Omaha, Nebraska for 7 weeks?" And that was, and we went and worked with this young writer-director, and it was a great experience. And he was very open to all kinds of stuff, and we really had a good time. It was freezing cold, of course, in Omaha in the winter, and but the great thing about the film is that, I mean, and this is what's interesting. If you remember The Sixth Sense, if you see it a second time, it's a different movie. If you see this picture a second time, it's a different movie. I mean, the reality you're watching the first time you see the movie, or before you reflect back on it, is not what's really going on because of the surprise ending. And then you see it a second time or think about it, you will see things that you missed completely. And boy, this is a long answer to a question.
Boy, that's a
Hey,
great.
listen,
makes
you
me
know,
want to see the film. Yeah.
Hey, Martin, listen. Do you want me to call you Martin or Marty? I like Marty.
Marty's great.
Hey, Marty, do me a favor.
I mean, I'll call you Bob, right?
No, you can call me anything you like. Listen, I want you to do me a favor, Marty.
Sure.
I want you to say to this audience that tomorrow this film is coming out, because they listen and they go. I had a television, the thing I published, we broadcast about, and it won the highest audience
Rating,
rating. And part of it we thought was because we really plugged it. I want you to slowly tell us the movie for tomorrow, and then we'll talk about other stuff.
The movie is called Lovely Still, Lovely, Still. And I know in Los Angeles it's opening at the Grauman's Chinese and two Lemley places. It's in selected theaters around the country, and it's I think a very special movie. Lovely Still, starring Ellen Burstyn, who's just amazing, and she and I go back a little ways, and I remember, as a matter of fact, you may not remember that I remembered. Didn't you come to New York years ago and go to a summer session of some kind, Robert?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, well, somebody misinformed me.
No. Anyway, Marty, so that's the movie I am going to see. I'm going to Grauman's. If it opens tomorrow, I will see it.
I'm going to go too, yes.
I will see it tomorrow's Friday. I'll see it in the next couple of days. And thank you for sharing that with me. Now, the question I want to ask you, we've got Jean-Luc from France. He's assistant to the mayor. He's a very charming guy. He flew in to see me in the summer, and then he's coming here in November.
Right.
And he wants me to go hotel shopping for him to get a low discount. But he's a big fan, and he wants to talk to you. But before we go to him, I want to ask you this question.
Sure.
What in your career, and what a damn career. I mean, this guy won the Academy Award.
Oh, amazing.
He's got his star on, don't step if you go to Grauman's Theater, on his star.
People have stepped on me all my life.
Yeah, well,
the movie Tucker. That movie Tucker comes to mind. And, of course, you mentioned him as Roland Hand, the character in Mission Impossible. But, I mean, he goes on and on.
No, but he's got his star on Broadway. I mean, star on Hollywood. Yeah, and he's won the Academy Award. I mean, it's unbelievable. So we go to commercial. Please don't leave us. Can we have another session with you, Martin?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. We're going to talk to Martin Landau, so hang on. And for my French audience, s'il vous plaît, merci.
Oh, you got them down in the palm of your hand. I didn't know. You're very fluent. You said Ross Martin spoke 5 languages. You speak many languages yourself.
Por favor, cállate la boca.
Sí.
You know what I just said?
Yeah, you said please
shut up.
Shut up. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I didn't want to say the second part over there, but let's just say it in Spanish for our Spanish audience.
All right. Anyway.
Hey, Marty Landau, hang on with us here. We're honored to have him with us. Lovely Still is the movie. It opens tomorrow in select theaters around the country. Check it out. Lovely, Still with Ellen Burstyn and Marty Landau.
And if you go to Grauman's Theater, you might run into me.
Take a break. You're going to run into Bob when we come back. Right after this, take a break on CRN PM Show Weekend Edition with Robert Conrad.
Hi, I'm Florence Henderson. If you have a computer or ever thought about getting one, the